So today I'm talking to Marc Abraham and Lucy Parkinson. Hi, Marc. Hi, Lucy.
Hiya.
Hi.
We have to wave. We have to do the Zoom wave, don't we?
Yeah, do wave.
So, for anybody that hasn't heard, and I can't imagine there's too many people that haven't heard, Lucy, you started a petition about the importing of puppies. So would you like to tell us about that?
So I started a petition after seeing that Molly, May and Tommy had bought a Pomeranian from Russia about just under a month ago. I'd been looking into this before the poor dog had died and wondered why this dog needs to come from Russia. Yeah. Then the dog died and I thought, oh my God, people need to know, I need to tell people. I started a change petition and it managed to get 60,000 signatures in, I'm going to say 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Just under a month. So now we've started the government e-petition. Hopefully we can get 100,000 signatures. It can go to Parliament, they'll debate it, and hopefully we'll get a law in place to stop this from happening to other puppies.
Yeah, yeah. Because it's a horrible exploitative business, because those puppies look so sweet and you see them. I've seen them online and you sort of, you think, oh, they're so lovely, yeah, I could have one of those, and mischief's in on the act, but you think, yeah, I could have one of those, and yet that cute puppy and that image is covering a lot of suffering up, isn't it?
Yeah, it's people are getting just, they see it and they don't realise what's behind it. It's just, oh, look, cute, there you go, and it's like, oh no, you need to really do your research. You can't just get a dog from a picture and that's it. It's not shopping. You're not going shopping for a dog. It's a commitment. You need to know where it's come from, what its background is, everything.
Yeah. Yeah, and I mean, the more you look into this kind of situation, the more you learn how important the breeder is. I mean, Marc, maybe you can tell us some more about this, but it is crucial, isn't it, that whether you're rescuing or buying, it's crucial that if you're getting a puppy, that they have been bred in the right way, isn't it?
Absolutely. I mean, it's all about accountability, really. As Lucy quite rightly said, you know, it's not just shopping for a commodity. This is a lot bigger than that. And your word exploitative obviously is incredibly spot on, because that's actually the word that we used in the title of the e-petition. And it's not just the puppies that are being exploited, it's the mums that are being exploited. It's also these owners that are being exploited, because on the whole, people who are looking for a dog generally try and do it the right way. Yes. And when I say do it the right way, they're not looking on the dark web. They're not going an illegal route. And this is a really important point to make. This is a legal route to market. And there's so much talk about the illegal puppy trade, but there's very little talk about the legal puppy trade. And remember, puppy farmers are on the whole legal. This route to market is legal. So that's why it's important, for example, for Lucy's law to ban the third-party sale of puppies, but also for this route to market, which is something very different to Lucy's law, because it's a puppy that's ordered and then delivered straight from abroad to the owner's house. So it doesn't involve any licensed premises on the UK. So basically it's a couriered good, which is why this extra route to market, and it's not a loophole in Lucy's law like so many trolls have tried to tell me. It's a completely separate route to market that needs its own legislation improving to cancel it out, to block it. Yes. Going back to your original question, yes, of course, we need accountability of breeder, we need accountability of rescue shelters. You would always look for accountability if you bought a washing machine or if you bought a telly, and really it's amazing how little research is done for a puppy compared to how much research is done for like electrical goods. Yeah. So the reason you see the puppy interacting with its mum in the place it was born, which is kind of Lucy's law, is to see that, obviously see the interaction, see there actually is a mum there, see the socialization going on, see the breeding environment, the premises, the attitude of the breeder. You can get so much from being face to face with the person who's actually bred that dog. And you should, I say you, the person buying the puppy, should be being quizzed as much as you are quizzing that breeder, because
absolutely
a well-bred pup is obviously worth waiting for. But those breeders don't want to give their puppies to anyone because they're family. So they have to vet you as much as you're vetting them. So it has to be done properly. There's enough stuff out there to be able to do it properly. And I mean, underlying point, I guess, is to always do your research. You can never do enough research. You can never talk to enough experts whether it's vets or vet nurses or behaviourists, everyone will try and help you do the right thing. And that's why, you know, Lucy, fantastic effort from Lucy to start this ball rolling. A fan who sees something she doesn't like starts a petition, and now it's being shared by Ricky Gervais and Rachel Riley and all these people. It's a beautiful example of some grassroots campaigning, and I'm really proud to be able to help Lucy, you know, along the journey, and I'm pretty sure we'll have a good chance of getting there. Yeah,
hope so. I mean, Lucy, you have picked up some fans of your own along the way, haven't you? So there's been amazing people retweeting and helping you with this.
Yeah, it's really nice. Like, not the response I expected. When I started, I thought, oh, my friends will share it. Maybe like it'll reach my area, my county, maybe a couple more. But this is way more than I expected. It's just incredible. The response is amazing.
Yeah, brilliant.
And it's sorry, just to jump. And we can't reveal right now, but there is a rumour that there's quite a big celebrity joining the campaign in the next few days. So listeners, keep your eyes and ears peeled.
Fingers crossed.
It's also important to realise that this is not a campaign that's just being supported by the public and celebrities. We've also already had support from the Kennel Club. We've already had support from the British Veterinary Association. So there's professional bodies coming on board as well, which is really, really important, because when the government eventually has to make this decision, obviously after it's been debated, they will be looking to their advisors. And if all their advisors are saying this needs to change, and the most likely solution potentially could be to raise the age to 6 months of age, because then they can be easily detected by a secondary dentition. But also, no one's going to want to buy a puppy from abroad that's already 6 months of age. And no breeders are going to want to keep a puppy, you know, on their premises, etc. So that could be the obvious one, which everyone seems to be backing. But we'll see how that goes, and it'll be flushed out in the debate and conversations afterwards. So it's exciting times again for dog welfare.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. You raise a really important question or issue, and it's something I always say to people. You want a breeder who is quizzing you. Don't take it personally. Don't think, oh, you don't like me, I don't want to buy your puppy. They're giving you their baby, one of their babies that they hopefully put so much thought and work and emotion into. They've really invested, and I don't mean so in money terms, but they've invested in the future of this puppy. You want someone who is going to say to you, how are you going to look after them? How are you going to feed them? What are you going to put in place when you're on holiday? You want that, don't you?
Yeah, and the classic question back is, you know, if things don't work out, would you take the puppy back? And every single responsible breeder would always say yes, and the irresponsible breeders and sellers would always say no. It's also worth noting that now the lockdown is coming to an end. The temporary relaxation of puppies being delivered, being normalised, is over. So if you are going to buy a puppy, you have to see it interacting with its mum in the place it was born. In England only. Remember, this is in England only. Scotland and Wales have both promised but not announced their dates yet. And the other point I wanted to make just briefly is there has been a little bit of sort of confusion around, can rescue pups still be imported? And I want to make quite clear that the puppies we're talking about are puppies that are imported and sold for profit when they get here. So rescue pups coming from Romania or Greece or Spain or Portugal or other places in Europe, for example, are unaffected by what we're trying to change. So the most important thing is to get it to Westminster, to get it debated, and then have all those conversations. But it needs to be a conversation that happens sooner rather than later, because of this lockdown spike in demand. People are just desperate for puppies, and this is a legal route to market that is being exploited.
And so that's certain breeds. You do have to wait for, don't you? There's just no getting around it. And the proper way to do it is, if you're going to buy, you find a good breeder, you talk to them. We always say to a breeder, you know, do you have puppies? And if they do, we don't go at that point, because we don't want to be, you know, sucked in by the, oh my goodness, you know, lovely puppies. We want to talk to them. We want to see their dogs. We want to really get to know them, and then say, yeah, we will have one of your puppies. That's a really difficult thing, particularly if you don't have a dog in the house at all and you're desperate to have a dog in the house. That's really difficult, but people do need to take that in, don't they? That you can't just go, I'll have a puppy, please, and have the right puppy, you know, be right in terms for you and for the puppy.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think this is why this whole demand it's a huge news story. It has been for weeks now. The word demand is quite an interesting one, because there's a demand because people can get the puppies from wherever. If actually people could only get them from responsible sources, yes, you'd have a demand, but you wouldn't necessarily have the supply. And to justify always trying to meet this demand with a supply that comes from anywhere is clearly wrong. So people should actually, I know it's this whole convenience, one-click society, but when it comes to animal welfare, and as we said, it's not just the puppies, it's their mums as well, that's where rules should be tightened, because that's where the damage is done. And not, as I say, not just for the animals, but for these unsuspecting dog owners too. I mean, the costs involved of a sick puppy, not just emotionally and physically to that animal, but financially to that new owner. And you're probably going to have a puppy that dies or needs treatment for the rest of its life, whether it's medical, behavioural, surgical. These are ticking time bombs of sort of pain and money. And as long as all these routes remain legal, people will try and do the right thing. And they get, you know, the animals lose out, of course, but the people do too. So it needs to be tightened up, and it needs to be done sooner rather than later. Yeah.
I mean, you raise an important point there again, because obviously that's your job, Mark, raising important points. But you know, the financial side of things, it's not the be all and end all, and you know, to many people, the suffering of the dog, you know, to many of us, the suffering of the dog is the biggest thing, and that's how it should be. But human beings, by and large, do things because there's some, you know, there's motivation for them, there's something in it for them. So if we can get that message across as well, that you stand to lose out financially anyway if you do this, you know, if the suffering of the dog and the parents and you know, it doesn't persuade you, you aren't hiding to nothing financially as well. So don't do it. That's, you know, that's an important message to get out, isn't it?
I think it is. And I think the way certain people look at dogs is very different nowadays. You know, if it doesn't work out, we can just chuck it in a rescue centre. But these people are paying, you know, £5,000 to £6,000 for these puppies coming in from abroad, which again brings in this question of perceived value. Something's worth more, must be better quality. If it's from Russia, it must be exotic. You know, maybe it's from a Siberian puppy farm. You know, the state that Mr. Chai puppy turned up, it was sort of fine when it arrived, but on post-mortem, had no white cells, it had a deformed skull, it had seizures just before it died, and this is incredibly cruel. And the way that they come over is in crates of maybe 4 or 5 puppies crammed into a cage. Sometimes someone is accompanying them, sometimes they're not. And in this case, it was they were flown to Amsterdam and then driven to the UK. To how these sort of breeders work. Then their fur is all clipped because they're covered in excrement and you know, feces and urine. Sometimes they put cute little jumpers on to make them look really cute, but it's actually covering the fact that they've been clipped. Then they go to their new homes, and of course it's just a matter of minutes before something goes catastrophically wrong. So, and that's the same pattern really that's happened for years with pet shop puppies in the UK. You know, they're loaded with disease. There's no accountability of the breeder, and the person gets that dog home, they get parvo because they become overwhelmed because of the stress with parvo, and it's incubated and now it's coming out. So it's really no different, but it's exploitation of animal welfare on a huge scale. People are making a fortune out of this, and it's legal. That's really the biggest point is it's legal. It's legal cruelty. It's legal suffering. And it's now up to the public with this petition to actually do something about it. It's in their hands, and we've seen with various events, you know, that to get out and vote or to sign the petition or whatever, you've got the power in your hands to do that. So do it. You know, if you love dogs, sign this petition. Lucy, you've had sign the petition. People have been signing the petitions in their hundreds and thousands. I mean, what are we at the moment? How many numbers do you know?
I think it's hit 34,000 today.
Yeah, so it's nearly 34,500. And I just, you know, I want to say full credit to Lucy. You know, I know we mentioned it earlier, but for someone to, and this doesn't have to be about animal welfare, for someone to see something that they feel strongly about, to actually bother to do a petition, and it was so well written, that's what really impressed me. And now look, progress is being made. People are being educated. And if everyone stopped doing what I'm doing right now, which is blaming people and moaning and finger pointing, and actually started a petition, about something, that's how you change stuff.
Yes.
You turn that negative energy into positive energy, and you start doing some stuff. And it could be in any sector that protects the most vulnerable. In this case, it's puppies and their mums.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always think you get told a lot, you know, oh, one person can't make any difference. Well, stuff that. Yes, you can. It starts with one person and then it spreads, and that one person, you know, can cause a huge difference. I mean, have you found the experience, Lucy? Because I bet you sort of swamped your life, and you have a life outside the petition as well that you're getting on with. So what's the experience been like for you?
It's quite overwhelming, but then not in a bad way. It's like, it's really, really nice to see the support, and it's just going and going, and you can see on a map that all the counties in the UK are just getting all different colours, and you can see the signatures growing. It's really, really, it's a nice feeling. It's really nice feeling that people supporting something that I felt passionate about. Yeah.
Yeah, and really making a difference. I mean, it must have been such a shock, because I can remember starting a Facebook group at the time, and sort of, and you get people joining, and you, oh my goodness, I've really struck a nerve here. And then it's like, what do you do then? How do you move forward? Wow, I've tapped into something. But I mean, you have, and you've got the support, and it's going places, isn't it? Now
it really is. I'm so proud of Lucy for doing what she did, and how she's leading this campaign, and it's a real honour to sort of be part of helping her along with that. We've got a great team of PR girls working with us as well. There's Charlotte, there's Emma, there's Chloe, there's Lisa as well. Lisa, who owned Lucy from Lucy's Law.
Yes, yeah.
So there's and obviously people like Cariad, who are also, you know, the Welsh Puppy Farming Campaign Group. So it's, again, like Lucy's Law, it's a team effort, everyone pooling their resources. This is a proper grassroots campaign again. No one's got any money to do it, but it's using creativity, it's using social media, and, you know, nearly 35,000 people know about this issue that may have not known about it before. Yeah. So that's just as important, the education, as well as the law change, because behaviour change can be just as effective as legislation change. Yeah, definitely, absolutely. Where can people find the petition online? Where do they need to go to? So the petition is on the government website, which is petition.parliament.uk. That's the petition website, where all those greeny petitions that people would have seen popping up on social media. And it's banned the exploitative import of young puppies for sale in the UK. But if you go, I mean, you'll I'm sure post it on your Twitter and Facebook, and it's all over my Twitter and Facebook. And really, to find it easily, if you're on social media, if you look for the hashtag ban puppy imports, you'll see it. It's really easy to find. But there's a lot. There's a lot of easy ways to find it. Another way of finding it, if you go to the petition's website, the government petition website, and you just go down the list of open petitions, it's not that many, and around about obviously 34,000 mark, you'll see it there. So it's easy to find. Excellent. And then share it as soon as you sign it. Very important to share it. Yeah, I was going to say, if everybody that signed it shares it, then you've got 70,000 straight away, haven't you? Bang. You hope so. Yeah, fingers crossed. Is there anything else? Yeah. Is there anything else that either of you would like to say that we haven't had a chance to say yet? I'll say just thank you to everyone that's signed it so far, and just keep signing, keep sharing, tell everyone you know. Let's make a change. And I'll agree with Lucy on that. Thank you everyone for signing and supporting, and just keep sharing it with like-minded animal lovers. And the quicker we get to 100,000, the quicker it's debated, and the quicker we can end all this suffering, not just for the dogs, but for the humans too. Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. Well, congratulations to both of you, because it's been a really good effort and success. And I mean, I've probably said this already, but I really love that, when, to me, that's how the world turns. If we all, take up arms on behalf of the cause that motivates us, that we love, then that's how the world turns. It doesn't work if we all do the same thing, but if we all fight the causes that, hit our hearts. Absolutely. And there's a great quote that echoes that, which is a Dalai Lama quote. I'm not a quotey guy, but I like this one, which is, if you think you're too small to make a difference, try sleeping with a mosquito. And I love that. And that's exactly what's happened here. Lucy's become the mosquito and has thought, do you know what, I'm gonna do something. And the other thing I'll say to all listeners is, if you are tweeting about this campaign and sharing the link, which obviously we want you to do, use the hashtag ban puppy imports, so we can see it and we can thank you publicly as well. And because it's about people power, And we've seen already, things are happening, and this will get to 100,000, and hopefully we will get the result that the dogs deserve.
Yeah, yeah. It's the petition your dog would sign if they could. So do it for them.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you ever so much, because I know you're both really busy and you've taken time out of your day. So thank you ever so much, and the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Have a good
Cheers.
day.